Welcome. In this video I'm going to be taking a look at this Favourlite 3-in-1 multifunctional camping lantern. So this was provided to me by the distributor, but they're not compensating me for this video and they're not reading it before I post it. If you find this video helpful and you want to purchase one of these, I'll put a link to it in the description on Amazon, and if you use that link it helps me out a little bit and doesn't cost you anything extra. So here's a tripod. We'll take a closer look at that in a minute. Here's the lantern, charging cable, and user manual. So let's take a look at the manual. So this has a foldable handle, micro USB input, USB output. So you charge this with USB, but it also has USB output, so you can plug in a phone or other device to charge from this because it does have a large battery in it. So you can think of this as a portable battery pack in that operation. It has LED spotlight, a rear light switch, battery indicator, LED spotlight switch, tripod, and 35 SMD, that would be surface mount device. So this has a light on the front, light on the back, and a side light. So the material on this is ABS, TPR, and AS. Light source is LED plus SMD. Power supply is rechargeable batteries. The working modes: the spotlight switch, LED spotlight high, LED spotlight low, 35 SMD high, 35 SMD low. Rear light switch has rear light white high, rear light white low, rear light red high, rear light red strobe. So there are many modes on this light. So this says 3-in-1, but it has 3 lights, but there are many modes on those lights themselves too. So if I counted right, I think there's 8 modes. So this talks about charging it. It has blue indicators that stay on after it's fully charged. The product is equipped with a tripod. You can rotate it 180 degrees, and then here's some warnings. So let's take a look at this. So here's that tripod thread, and we have this little mini tripod here. So these legs you can press in here. This is actually a pretty fancy little tripod. So you can have different heights on it and stuff, and it has a tilt control. So you can thread this into the light here, and it can hold the light up. So if you're on the side of the road changing a tire, you can put this tripod on it and it would hold it in just the perfect position. The nice thing is this is a regular tripod thread, so you could hook this up to many different things. For instance, I have this suction cup. Now this is a smaller suction cup and it's getting a little old, so I don't know if it would love having that weight on there. I certainly wouldn't put this on a vehicle and drive with it on, but that is an option, and there are bigger suction cup mounts, or even like this is a bar clamp mount. You could thread that on there and you could clamp this to a bar. But having a tripod thread on here, there are many different options you can use for mounting it. So here's the foldable handle, and this does lock down, so it has detents on it, so you can carry it like this or you can leave it like that. Here's the charging. We have micro USB, that's for the charging. We have the USB-A. You can plug devices in there for charging. So you can charge your phone off this. You can charge many other devices. Now generally speaking, if I have a device that can charge other devices, I usually don't do that, but it is nice to have in an emergency. Usually I'll carry a battery pack to charge my phone because I want to have the maximum amount of power in my lights. But you never know, if you have an emergency and you need that, it's right there ready to go. So let's check out the switches here. So this turns on the main, this is the rear spotlight. So that was high, this is low, here's red, and red flashing. So if you have an emergency, you could turn this on. Like if you're pulled over on the side of the road, you could set this on the road to alert drivers that you're changing your tire or something. So then we have the other light. This is the front light. So this is the spotlight. So this has high, low, and then it has the side light and the side low. Now it's flashing here on camera, but in person you can't see that flashing. So the spotlight you could use if you're looking out, say into the woods for something, looking at a distance, you could use this light. It has a long projection on it. So you see a ring here, that's because we're up close. If I pull back, it gets smaller, and if I'm shining far away, it just turns into a dot. And then this side light you could use if you're, say, reading a map or reading something. You could hang this up and illuminate an area with this. So that's a very versatile light. So I'm going to point my camera and the light at a wall that's 4 foot away, and we'll see what the projection patterns look like. Okay, so this is the spotlight on high. You can see that dot there, and it's illuminating a larger area that's probably 7 or 8 feet around it. So there's the bright dot in the middle, and then there's the wide light around it. This is on the low. This is the side light. So this gives you a very even light. And this is on low on the side light. Then we have the back light. So this gives a very wide, even light. So I don't know, it's maybe 10, 12 feet wide on the wall. Here's low on that. And here's red. So if you're doing something at night and you don't want to hurt your night vision, you could turn this mode on. And here's the red flashing mode. So you can't have both of these lights on at the same time. So we have the front light on, We can turn the rear light on. So I have a spotlight here. I have the red flashing light here. So if your car was broke down on the side of the highway, and if you're using this to say shine on your tire while you're changing a flat, and you could have this red flashing light in the back, so people are less likely to hit you. So I'm going to do a couple capacity tests, and I'll insert the clip now of what I got for those results. Okay, so I did a couple of runtime tests on this. I didn't test every mode, but on the spotlight running on the high mode, it lasted 8 hours and 12 minutes. The side light on high mode lasted 10 hours and 46 minutes, and the floodlight in the back lasted 12 hours and 36 minutes. So those are all on high. If you turn these on the lower modes, like especially like the side light, you'd probably get quite a bit more runtime out of that. But all of the runtimes on the high modes lasted at least 8 hours. So that's great runtime on that. So the charge time from completely empty on this was 8 hours and 5 minutes. Now that can vary depending on what kind of charger you use. Okay, so now I'm going to head out to my garage and I'll show around my car with this so I can simulate what it would be like to use this if you were in a car emergency, maybe on the side of the road. Okay, so I'm in my garage now and I have the light on its tripod and I'm shining it up at the wheel as if I had a flat tire. And I currently have the side light on. And here it is with the back light. So this is the broad light. You could also use the spotlight, but I think most people would like the more broad light if they're doing something like this. And here's the engine bay of the car with this light on it. This is the broad light on the end. Let's try the other light. So this is the spotlight. And I don't really like the spotlight for this. I like the other light better. I think it's too narrow of a beam to really, say, find a leak or something. But with this light has many modes on it, so you don't have to use that mode. And here is the side light mode. I think that's a much better mode here. So if I had a leak or something wrong with it, I could use this light to find it in this engine bay. Okay, so I'm outside in the dark. It's not pitch black out, but it's pretty dark. It looks dark on the camera. I'm 50 foot from this garage door. I'll turn the spotlight on. So there you can see. So that's probably about a 4-foot spot. And then it has a much wider light around it. And that's on high. That's low. This is the side light. Here, you can see it. Now here's the light on the back. So this is a more broad light than the spotlight. So here's the red light at 50 feet. So this is what it looks like if you're looking at it. So that's the Favourlite 3-in-1 multifunctional camping lantern. I really like the build quality of this. This is rubber here. So you can see when I set this down, it has kind of a thud. It's because the lenses are protected with rubber and it has hard plastic here. And it's hard plastic in the middle. It has a nice feel to it. It can be very compact when you fold that handle in. So you could set this and point it straight up, probably on this mode if you wanted to illuminate above you. But this has many options here. It has the spotlight, the side light, the rear light, and it has those red LEDs in there, so it's great for safety. So if someone was trying to find you at night, you could turn on that red flashing mode and this would have a longer runtime, and you could point this in the direction where you think help might be coming from. And of course, I also like the tripod mount on here. That gives you tons of versatility, and it comes with a nice tripod too. I was impressed with the features of this little tripod. I haven't seen anything like this with these sliding feet. So that's handy. So that's all I'm going to cover in this video. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. If you like this video, please click like. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd appreciate if you could do that. And thanks for watching. Until next time, goodbye.